episode of Questlog. It's a weekly show about video games old and new. My name is still Tyler Everett, and this is episode 86 on this July 21st, 2018. And I am joined by some of the finest humans that I know. I got a Brian and a Kat Maxwell this week.
Good evening.
Hello.
I got myself an Aaron Kring.
I'm excited for Kat.
And I got none other than Luke Phillips.
I'm excited for Brian.
Hashtag balance.
Team Kat, Team Brian.
That's awesome. How you guys doing?
Yeah, it's been a good week.
It's 2018. We're hanging in there. We're all still alive.
Has
We're all
it?
still breathing.
It's been a horrible week.
Yeah, has it, Luke? Speak for yourself.
Hashtag balance.
It's been an alright week for me. I have no complaints.
That's because your job allows you to do a lot of
Reddit.
Nothing bad ever happens on Reddit.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
It's a silly place, but you know, so is Camelot.
That's true. Both those things are true.
Is that still relevant in 2018?
Monty Python and the Holy Grail will always be relevant.
Will it, though?
Yeah.
Monty Python will always be relevant.
Thank you, Kat.
I thank you, Brian, for bringing that up, by the way.
Why is that?
Because I, this week, backed the Trogdor board game on Kickstarter, and I'm really excited about it. And then Luke decided to shit all over it by asking whether or not Trogdor's relevant.
It's
Because
not.
Just
Homestar
because
Runner is a timeless classic. What are you talking about? It's the best
Thank
thing
you.
that happened in the 2000s.
Let Kring like stuff.
Yeah,
He can like
Luke,
stuff,
let
but
Kring
come
like
on.
things. No, Trogdor's great. Trogdor
And he
is...
comes in the night.
He does.
He burninates the village
The people...
and the thatched roof cottages.
15 years ago, he did all that.
Okay, and when was Monty
And he's
Python and the
still
Holy
doing
Grail?
It, Luke. Come on.
Yeah, it's a long time to be burninating the countryside.
Yeah, you think dragons have a lifespan of only like 2 years or something?
Those
These
peasants.
bitches live forever.
Those peasants are having a rough life. If you're not old like us and don't know what Homestar Runner is, ask your parents, I guess. I don't know. But yeah,
It's really weird that all of a sudden Trogdor is relevant.
it's not. They're saying like, hey, what if we just printed some money today? And so they're like, we could make a board game, they could do it. And so they did, and it did. Didn't you just say they made like $500,000, Kring, already?
Over $660,000, almost 11,000 backers on the Kickstarter,
Yeah.
and they still have 24 days to go.
Yeah. They haven't even done anything yet.
If the Backstreet Boys are still making music,
Oh.
Are they?
Are they?
Yes.
though?
Yes,
dear
they are.
God, then Trogdor can come back.
Tyler,
okay?
get control.
Obviously, we need Trogdor if the Backstreet Boys are still making music.
I have no control.
Okay.
Okay?
Those dots connect. That checks in.
Are we just going through anything that happened between like 2001 2005? Is that tracks? Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Oh man. Well, Brian, what have you guys been up to this week? I'll let you guys, take the reins here. What's new with you?
Oh, hell.
I'm not going to get too deep into it, but it's been a week of challenges here.
Mm-hmm.
I think the ship has been righted, but it's been a long week.
Yeah.
Did you learn from Challenge and Change, Brian?
I did learn from Challenge and Change.
And I learned how much cleaning I can do in 2 days.
Yeah,
That's fun. That's
we're
good.
going to win the home with services.
I think I need to leave now. Oh, it's like flashbacks.
Luke, how are things?
Unleash
in
the
your
power
world?
of your people.
What have you been up to this week, Luke?
Me?
Yeah.
Speaking of things that have been relevant in a little while, I picked up a game that was released a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. On mobile device.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yep. By the name of Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
2016 called. It was a
Pokemon
Steam
Go. Pokemon Go is like this timeless classic thing from back when Obama was president. And things were still, bright and cheerful in the world slightly, and then
Things were just so innocent back then. No, but it's been great. I tend to pick this up every summer just to get out and walk around and go catch them all.
Yeah, I installed it on my phone too. I like playing it when I'm walking my dog. It's just kind of a fun thing to do when I'm walking around. And
I guess it's still a thing. Like they have a big annual, I don't know, like get together, we're together, and they have rare. And like last year when they did it, it was a giant clusterfuck.
Yes.
Like nothing worked right.
It's Gold Fest. It's held in Chicago, and
They
last
just
year
did it again,
was
and-
a cluster, and they had to give away a lot of free stuff to make up
Yeah, it
for
was
it.
like everything's down. There's nothing to catch. Meet some new people.
The internet is betraying you while you're talking about things being down, and it is very comical. Like we're getting Robot Brian here. Everything's
But yeah,
down. That's what happened.
They had another one last week or 2 weeks ago, and from what I heard, it was
Did you
a
go?
huge success.
So
Did you go?
I always thought that was going to be a limitation of
Go.
like. Sorry,
No.
I'll let Kring ask his question.
Go ahead, ask it a third time.
No, I don't want to now. Tyler, what about the limitations?
From what I understood, it was like they had all these people all working off of the cell towers at the same time, and that's what kind of like crashed the network was. Like all these devices trying to connect. The same thing happens when you're in like a stadium or any big gathering of people, festivals and stuff like that. The cell service is always garbage because it's trying to serve an abnormal amount of people in one area.
Anytime you have an additional 20 or 30,000 people in one small area, all on their cell phones or multiple cell phones, it's not going to go well.
Yeah.
So how'd they fix that? Did they set up?
They
a bunch
literally
of, like-
brought in extra mobile cell phone towers from all the carriers.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I would just think that like they would just spread that kind of stuff out further, so you didn't have to be in one general area. But
Well,
That's
the
cool.
way they do it, though, is they basically have everything in one big park, and they take it over. And they
Gotcha.
set up different habitats within the park, and you're supposed to go like through each habitat and do a whole bunch of like a quest line, essentially.
cool.
And what they
Would you say
did is... What?
Would you say that you were given a quest log?
Yeah, there you go. And what they did is they released some legendary Pokemon if you end up finishing the entire quest chain.
That's cool.
Aren't there like raids too? Aren't there like major battles that require a lot of people?
Yeah, which actually there was a big one today. So what they'll do is every now and again they'll have like a special raid day, or it's only lasts like 3 hours. But they had Zapdos, the legendary lightning bird, out today for 3 hours, and so like every gym would have that raid going on, and
Yeah,
you
see,
can
that
do it with a
makes sense.
handful
That's
of
cool.
people, but yeah, you get a ton of rewards for it, a ton of experience, and you get a legendary out of it. So.
That's cool. Yeah, it was funny because I started talking about. I couldn't remember either you mentioned it or somehow it got brought up, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of like playing that right now too. And the way I play it is very different from the way you play it. I walk around my neighborhood and throw balls at animals until I run out, and then go home. And Luke's like, well, this week they have this event going on right now, and if you show up between 2 and 5 p.m. you can get this legendary Pokemon, but you gotta come down to do a raid with us. And actually, if you do your field research, then he's got this whole thing charted out. Because
It should be no surprise how I play this game.
Yeah, I know.
No.
You know, I'm a power gamer. I will find a way to min-max everything. So,
Yep.
hey, this is the most efficient way to go and get this, and this done.
There must have been an uptick of people playing because I've had a bunch of people just post, hey, this is my Pokemon Go information.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just added friends to the game.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
Can't you trade
yes,
now too?
Yes, they do use friend codes, of course.
Jesus.
But yeah, so what you get like little gifts from the Pokestops, and you can send one to a friend, one per day. And you get just a few random items out of it. And if you're near each other, you can finally, after 2 years, trade Pokemon between each other.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was the big one.
Pokemon with me.
Yep. No, probably not. No.
Between friends and redoing the whole gym and raid system that they have going on and releasing new content, it's been a lot of good changes, to be honest.
Yeah, the game was surprising when I checked back into it, because I haven't played it since it was the hot thing a couple summers ago. And yeah, like there's a ton of new stuff. There's like all these quests to do. There's, you know, different incentives for stopping at the gyms and the Pokestops and whatever. So that's cool.
Yeah, there's
That's
a 7-day streak for catching a Pokemon and doing a stop. And at the end of that 7-day streak, you get a shit ton of rewards for it.
Interesting.
But then you can also turn in a daily quest, 1 per day. And on the 7th day, you get it's an encounter with like the Pokemon of the month. So like this month is Snorlax.
cool.
And that changes. So like last month was Articuno, and I'm not sure what's going to be for August yet. But they're just doing all these things to like change it up. Like it seems like every other week. And just adding new stuff and getting people together. And I've been walking a ton. Even after work, I may go walk for 30 minutes an hour down by the water and get a little bit of exercise and spin some Pokestops.
That's cool.
And then in the park there, aren't there like 3 or 4 stops in like a gym? Like right along in Pine Grove Park there? Aren't there a bunch of stops in the gym?
Pine Grove is huge. There's at least 3 gyms and probably 5 or 7 stops.
I remember when that game had like first come out, that it was this surreal experience. I went to the park with my family, and I just happened to I was like, oh cool, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. And I was looking around, and I'm like, oh my god, there's so many. Like you could tell because they were like all gathered around the general area where a bunch of stuff was going on, and people can set out lures that like lure Pokemon in, and you know, like it brings in different kinds that aren't normally there. So I'm watching all these people gather around, and they've all got their phones out, and they're all doing this at the same time. Like I was just like, I mean, there must have been 20 or 30 people all in the park in the same little area doing this together, and I was just like, this is wild. I can't believe, you know, everyone's kind of, you know, doing this community thing, but all through their phones.
There's a Discord group for the local community, and I think today when we started there was about 60 people.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Huh.
So we had to split
surprising.
into different teams and move as large groups to do some of these.
Cool. That's cool, man. Glad you're digging it, getting out, getting some fresh air and catching some monsters. That's cool, man.
It's been good.
What have you been up to, Craig?
I'm becoming a man.
You're becoming a man?
You're finally getting the operation?
No. We've been going through a lot of my father-in-law's stuff and collecting things and moving things around, and so I'm getting all sorts of tools, and I went and I bought a trailer, and I have motorcycles now, and like Tyler, you want me to fix something at your house? Like I got so many tools.
So many things. So many things. Bring them over.
I'll just come.
Where do you want to
bring
start?
them over, and we'll fix the thing. What do you want to fix?
Yes.
No, that's quite literally all I've been doing is we're going through a lot of stuff, trying to sell stuff, trying to clean things out. It's leaves not a lot of time for video games other than Sea of Thieves.
We did get some Sea of Thieves time in. Yep. It was good. Last night played a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Are you close to getting your statues done, Kring?
Oh, I don't give a shit about the statues. I think that's the most annoying quest in the entire. I hate it. I hate this event. I don't want it. I want it to go away.
Well, good news. It's going to be gone on
not
Tuesday.
My thing. It's PvP is what this game is about. It's all PvP, and all I want to do is PvP, and all you guys want to do is lollygag and fart around this island looking for statues, and I hate it. It's boring. It makes me fall asleep.
Is that all we want to do? Luke, was that all we did last night?
No. We also collected animals.
Yeah. See, you're using it to do the boring quest.
Is that all we did last night, Luke?
Well, you see, it hit midnight, so Kring had to go to bed.
Yeah, because
then
all
we
we
did
did
more.
to that point was collect animals or statues, and it got boring because this game has no content.
I don't think Kring knew what was going on last night.
That
We got into a
was for you,
huge,
Brian.
we got into a
Thank you.
huge fight at a stronghold
Are
and
there,
sunk
are
somebody
there
last night.
non-boring quests in the game? Have they added non-boring
Yes, they're the ones, the non-boring quests are the ones where, hey, there's a boat over there, kill those guys. That's the non-boring
Okay, that's
quest.
what I thought.
These guys weren't doing those quests.
We did a stronghold with another guy and sunk a galleon at it. What are you talking about?
Best part of the game was when the galleon decided to show up port at the very beginning, and they wrong fucking port.
Oh, that's right. No, we
Nice.
sunk 2 galleons during your session.
did.
What are you talking
Did
about?
sink galleons.
You're on drugs.
You almost got it. Almost got it.
One of these times you're going to spit that shit all over the place.
It's never gonna happen. Stop trying to make it happen.
I want to partially agree with Kring.
Yes.
I agree too.
Not fully.
Clearly, we all
Partially.
like the PvP aspect of this
The
game more
PvP
than
is the best part.
Yeah.
I want to get the doubloons from the statues so I could turn them in and not have to do more merchant quests, though.
Yes. Yes. See? We just do those on the way.
They're an investment for the future.
The statues are more boring than the merchant quests because at least the merchant quests give me gold and I can buy things with it.
Yeah, but the statues can give you items as well.
I already have the dress, Luke. I don't need anything else from this event.
Kring is
just
doing
wait.
what I think will happen in almost every game that we ever play together. He's going to wait for us to hit max level and then just leech off of us. It's what happened in Diablo. It's what happened when he tried to play World of Warcraft with us. He's gonna
No.
Tyler,
No.
don't you high road him.
You guys all played Diablo back when this game first frickin' came out, and I didn't have a PC that could run it at the time. Then once I did, you guys were all already max level.
You also don't have any
WoW.
interest in Diablo.
We also
You're not
started new
wrong.
characters. We all started new characters, brand new ones at that time
Also,
with you.
you'll remember, Tyler, that I got to about the place where I am now and realized my character is ugly. Nothing looks good on this character. I can't dress it properly. It's terrible. I'm starting over, and I restarted and had to.
Yeah, which
Go
is
back.
why the bi-weekly events that give you doubloons that you can turn into skip levels should be pretty appealing to you to catch up.
Yep.
Mic
not.
drop.
Mind blown. No, but the statues are not swimming.
The Thrones one
for 10
I
minutes.
liked, but the statues is terrible.
I
you said you liked
don't
the
disagree.
Thrones?
Yeah, I like the Thrones one. Because it like they made you go to like different areas of the map. So then we're like climbing on top of this, trying to figure out how to get on top of this skull fort to sit on this throne at the top of it, and that's cool to me to do that sort of platforming aspect of the game.
So you like jumping puzzles.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
It's like Mario.
Yeah, they should put a portal gun in Sea of Thieves.
There you go.
There you go. They have those. It's called a cannon.
It's just not instant. It takes a moment to get there.
It
Yeah.
does put you from one area to another pretty quick. And climb right in it.
See, I like the skeletons with the gunpowder barrels.
Yeah, that was good.
That
the
was
best
a
one
fun
so
2-week
far.
event.
Cursed Sails is coming up. They released a trailer for that. It's going to introduce the 3-player ship and looks like the AI skeleton ships. So there'll be a thing for people to do that don't want to chase down other players, and they'll still be able to engage in the ship combat and get rewards from that. So that'll be really cool.
That I would try.
I'm looking way into that. The way they describe it is really cool too. Like the skeletons will show up at an outpost and like set up a fortification there, and I guess you have to go like tear that down somehow. They haven't really gotten into that, but then like the skeleton boats themselves like come bursting up out of the water, and then
It's very Pirates
like
of the Caribbean.
it seems
Very
cool.
Davy Jones.
Yeah. Seems very neat. So I'm excited for that. That should be happening on the 31st.
31st.
When that comes
31.
out. So
Which, when they were originally saying that they don't want any AI-controlled ships.
yeah,
They
that's a
want the
big
players to
departure
know
for
that
them.
if they see another boat on the water, that it belongs to players. But they're willing to kind of change their opinion on stuff like that, which I think is for the better.
I think too that these are probably going to look super unique, even from a distance, than the other boats will. So that might.
I mean,
that might help.
I think they're still a galleon, but they have like tattered sails, and they look like a skeleton ship would look. So yeah, that'll be cool. I'm into that. I'm way into it. Yeah. I don't know what else you guys been into this week. Any more gaming stuff?
I've been playing something called Enter the Gungeon.
I have heard about this game. Is this like the?
Mm-hmm.
Is it like the? It's like a dungeon crawler, but lots of.
It's kind of a twin stick shooter.
Okay.
Okay, you got me.
Did you say Gungeon?
Yes,
Yeah.
Gungeon. Yeah.
Pew, pew,
I
pew.
did.
Okay, so I'm sure I heard you right.
Like the enemies, most of the enemies in the dungeon are bullets and like shotgun shells and hand grenades. Yeah. Like it's kind of a bullet hell game. Like
Okay.
not entirely, but there's a lot of shit to dodge. There's a lot of things flying at you on the screen you have to dodge. I found a weapon today that was a bullet that shoots guns that shoots bullets. Yes.
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Good.
Their weapon design is straight out of Borderlands.
Yep.
It's
That's
a
awesome.
bullet that shoots guns that shoots bullets. That's badass.
I came home and it's like, what the hell are you playing? It's like, Gungeon.
Yep. You got a few different character classes. There's some stuff to unlock. Like you've got an encyclopedia full of, like different guns and different items to find.
Do you have a hamster? Is that what that is?
That's the hunter class, and I think it's supposed to be a dog, but it looks like a big gerbil, so I'm just going to go ahead and believe that it's a big gerbil.
I was like, it looks like a little hamster. It's cool.
Yeah, that's on sale this week. It was like half off, so.
Cool. Isn't there an expansion coming out for that?
I'm sorry?
I thought I saw that there was an expansion or something that they had announced.
Yeah, there's some big update that just released, and I believe it came to Switch or is coming to Switch.
Oh, really?
Wow.
I'm not sure if it's on
shooter
sale
on the
there.
Switch, huh? Give it to me.
Yeah, that seems good. I would play this on the Switch. I'd
Yeah.
buy that for $1.
Seems to be a good fit for short play sessions.
Huh. Cool. I dig the art style and everything. It looks pretty good. Scott Johnson was like in love with this game when it came out. I remember him talking about it on his podcasts a lot. So, very cool.
This is so Wii U.
Brian, did
Yep.
you get this on the Steams or?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
awesome.
It's real dumb. I like it.
Yeah, I love it. Like, these little animated bullet bill mother effers.
You have a corgi, not a hamster. You got a little corgi.
Is that what it is?
That's a
Don't-
little corgi.
Don't ruin my immersion. The gerbil.
Corgis are basically gerbils anyway.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
are little gerbil dogs.
That's very cool. Anything else that's been
So, yeah.
tickling your fancy there, Brian?
I've been playing a lot of Plants vs. Zombies in multiple forms
Yeah.
Yeah.
for the last couple of weeks. Yeah, my son
What
is
year
on
is
a
it?
real big Plants vs. Zombies kick, and he is real easily frustrated. So that means I've been sitting with him playing a lot of Plants vs. Zombies 2
Okay.
on the old iPad.
Nice.
Well, it started with his birthday. When he turned 7 last month, he wanted a Plants vs. Zombie birthday cake. And it was out of the blue because he doesn't play the game. He doesn't touch the game. He doesn't know anything really other than like, hey, there's plants that fight zombies. So we made the
They're
cake.
really
and
putting it
of a
all right
sudden
up
he
at the
wa-
top there with that one. So you don't really have to dig too deep to.
No,
to get
but
at that.
he's never played them.
Huh.
And all of a sudden that's what he wanted.
Okay.
And now he's super obsessed.
That's cool. The cake turned out great too. I saw the picture.
Yeah,
of it.
that was awesome looking cake.
Plants vs. Zombies 2 is not as good as the first one because it's free to play and
Commercialized heavily.
yeah, there's like ads and it's like, hey, if you want to unlock this plant, it's just 100 gems or $4.99.
Hmm.
It's just all the worst parts of mobile gaming. But
Yeah.
he likes
Brian,
it.
Brian,
Yes.
do they do a good job of explaining why the plants are fighting zombies? Do we know? Or is it just sort of like...
Because the zombies are invading. I think that's why.
Crazy Dave talks you through the whole thing.
Yeah. Crazy Dave's there for you, buddy.
Yep.
Okay. So I just have to play it to learn the story here?
The first Plants vs. Zombies game was great.
I played
Yeah, didn't you put that in your top 50?
Yeah, I loved it. Put a lot of hours into that.
I enjoyed what little time I spent with it.
The other half of this is Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 on the PlayStation 4.
That's it's a shooter, right? It's a third
yeah,
or
it's
first
basically
person,
Team Fortress, but with Plants vs. Zombies.
Yeah.
They had a bundle that was like $10 for that, Unravel, and Need for Speed. So I was like, all right, that's worth $10.
Did you give Unraveled a shot? Because I've been interested in that one, but never enough to pull the trigger.
My oldest played it, and I watched her. It's very pretty. Like it's a gorgeous game. Seems to be pretty simple platforming so far. I didn't see a whole lot of it, but I was impressed, just by the visuals of it. In the Need for Speed game, I'm just like, I don't give a shit. But
I would play. I played that when I was in like high school, one of the old ones.
I'll pay $3 for it. That's fine. I'll install it at some point. I think it's not the latest one, so it might be okay.
No, nothing in the last.
It's been a while, huh?
Need for Speed. The last Need for Speed game I played that I enjoyed was Most Wanted on the Xbox 360, which was a launch title. So that was 05.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's been a long time since I played a decent Need for Speed game.
I think that was the last good one.
Wasn't there a movie recently? Like, kind of recently? Need for
Speed? A few years ago. It had Aaron Paul in it.
Huh. Jesse Pinkman.
Yep, Jesse Pinkman.
There you go.
Yeah. Boy, we are just like in a time warp this week.
This is Nostalgia Day, apparently.
What is going on?
Well, speaking of, I played something from 2013 today, and a couple days ago. It's called Warframe. You might have heard of it. It's a little free-to-play game. Came back out in 2013. It is a third-person ninja shooter thing.
Sweet.
Tyler.
I downloaded it yesterday and I played it a bit today as well. Got through, the tutorial missions. So, yeah, third-person ninja shooter, pretty accurate.
I played it when it first came back out in 2013 because it was right. I'm trying to think of it. I had my computer for like a few months. I didn't have a whole lot to play on it yet, and this was free to play, so I installed it and checked it out. I think I put like about 5 hours into it or so, and then I think Rust was a thing after that, and I didn't touch anything else for a good long time. But this was a good little thing to fill the gap. They've changed quite a bit over the last 5 years. All the quest stuff, Luke, all like that narrative driven, tutorial and everything, none of that shit was there back when I played it. Or at least I don't remember it if it was. It was very much like you just kind of went into like a menu system after you went into a world and then got dropped into another instance each time.
Yeah,
and now,
I had heard that the starting was just very rough for new players when it first released, and they went through revamped it quite a bit.
Yeah, now there's like a whole storyline with voice acting and everything, and
are there classes?
The different Warframes, so like you're the kind of this ninja thing, and you can unlock different Warframes, and those are basically different classes and different characters. Yeah.
Hang on, are you a ninja person, or you said ninja thing? Are you a robot?
It's not clear really what you are. You kind of get shat out of this egg thing at the beginning of the game.
All right.
See, you're basically sleeping in a cave, and Zelda comes and wakes you up.
Okay.
It's okay.
Does she give you your iPad and send you off into the world?
Yep, an iPad and climb a tree.
There's 3 different starter Warframes you can choose from. One of them is the one that you're seeing me here play. It's called Excalibur, and it focuses on a sword.
No shit.
Surprise! That's the one that I picked. There was one that looked more like a mage
kind
type.
of a curved blade, though, Tyler.
I know. Yeah. Trust me, if If I could change it, I would.
You can.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can I get some big, like... I saw, so they have different Warframes, and that's kind of where this free-to-play part of it comes in, is you can buy those right from a store and get access to them, or you can, I think you can craft them
What are you?
by playing the game. So I think the starter ones are like this ninja guy with a sword, there's like a more gun-focused one, and then there's one that looks kind of like a mage. It has like, spells and shit.
And a beard?
No beards. Everything is like this very Geiger-esque, like alien,
This game looks like
that's
Destiny.
not the word I wanted to use. What's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not seeing Geiger here anywhere.
It looks like Destiny or Halo. Like that's what I'm seeing when I look at this.
Yeah.
These maps
If you look
very
closer,
much
like
that.
like the enemies and stuff have like this very like alien movie kind of look to them. Everything's kind of like organic and cyborg.
Yeah, that just looks like a big humanoid chicken.
Yeah.
You just cut up.
I'm in a different level right now. The first one, it's like all these grotesque like
so this is
zombie
not
dudes.
the Geiger level, Brian.
Yeah, this one's more. This is more. I'm fighting like regular dudes who are just into tech. But the first one is like the Grenier. They're like these. They're like these cyborg zombie people things. They're
You're
gross.
there to stop them because they're into tech.
Yeah, I'm in Silicon Valley. Just
All right. You could be researching anything in there. It's not safe.
Yeah, it's not safe. I'm not necessarily sure I'm a good guy yet. I'm just.
Not all the Silicon Valley people are Elon Musk, okay, saving the world with their little sub.
They're about to just send a car into space. I got to stop it. But yeah, like so you can get the different things. I saw one that looked like it looked like a weird, sci-fi version of a witch hunter from the Warhammer series. It is like, whatever those hats are. A big brimmed hat and like a rapier sword and a pistol. But it's all like robot-y like that. It looked real weird. That was one of the options. They got big
You might be
dudes with
alone in the
glaives.
Warhammer references here.
Oh yeah, sorry. The
Yeah.
Vampire Hunter, Van Helsing. He looked like a Van Helsing. There you go.
Like the grave robber in Darkest Dungeon. Yeah.
Of course. Of course.
I'll meet you. I'll meet you with your references no one knows.
There you go. Thank you. I didn't want to be alone on that island.
No.
But yeah, the running around is real good.
Movement's awesome.
Yeah, you're
Very
sprinting
fluid.
around. You can slide on the ground.
Yeah, I'm watching the slide to a stop thing, and is it like a set amount that you slide, or is there like a control to it? Like you can stop it at a certain point when you want to.
You can stop it, but like it's based on the terrain and your momentum and all that kind of stuff. So like if there's a big ramp, you can slide down the whole thing and kind of you gain inertia and go shooting out the other side. Like feels
You're
good.
fucking up that server room.
Yeah. Yeah, my mission here I think is to get like scrap metal and parts and shit.
That server room belonged to AT&T. Tyler's taking out his aggravation towards this
He
carrier.
dropped one too many motherfucking calls. Just gonna sword that guy right in half. There he goes. Yep, it feels good to run around and just kill shit in this game.
It does feel like a third-person Destiny.
Yeah.
You know,
It very much feels like Destiny.
you get a mission, you drop down into a planet, and you run through it, and you get rewards, and you repeat.
Yeah, I'm stoked to try playing it with somebody else because I think I don't know. It's fine. It's fine alone, but it definitely doesn't feel challenging yet. I'm guessing that I'll get out of the beginner zones pretty quick here, and it'll start to ramp up. I'm worried that it'll start to feel like, oh boy, if I don't just spend a whole bunch of money to craft some stuff, then
Waiting to hit that wall.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that. Yeah, that ceiling, me to reach that ceiling. So
That's always in the back of my mind in games like this. Like anytime it gets really challenging, I'm just like, okay, like if I just spend $15 in the store, I could probably just get right by this. And it feels gross.
yeah, I don't think that's the focus here. I think it's more cosmetic stuff and then just more classes. But I know they do have like some of the things take. I think a new Warframe takes like 3 days to synthesize or whatever once you craft it, and there is a way you can just skip that with
Yeah.
paying money. But I mean, again, it's just kind of a different way to play. I think you get a different skill set and whatnot. I don't think it's necessarily like up.
Tyler, how the hell are you jumping around off of that wall? that much. Like you're
I'm
just
a
not
cyborg ninja man,
not
dude.
landing.
Yeah, you're a ninja thing.
Like, this is
You hold space.
it looks it looks like you're
Gross
glitching
rats.
it.
Yeah.
Looks like you're about to start speedrunning this, Tyler. You gonna be in AGDQ?
Oh no, I'm sure anyone that actually plays Warframe is watching this going like, this guy has no idea what the shit he's doing. The game does a good job of making you look badass even when you're just kind of flailing around. But yeah. Yeah, so I'm impressed. I'm very excited for it to come to Switch. I'm not looking to put a whole bunch of time into the PC release because I feel like I'll play it more on the Switch when it comes out, but
When we have to use friend codes to play together?
probably. And
Okay.
I have no idea if your progress carries over or not. So
I was just going to ask that.
Yeah, that seems unlikely.
yeah. So far, that
But
hasn't
it's
been the
all
case
tied
with
to
other
their
games.
website, so like in theory it should.
Yeah, it should, but like my Paladins account isn't merged with my PC one, and Fortnite, I don't. Oh well, Fortnite is, but not if you play it on PS4. So
Right.
I mean, there's definitely some wonky stuff going on. I don't know. We'll see. We
It
shall
just
see.
seems like it would be easier to have it work as opposed to not work.
Yeah, you think there's extra steps involved in like breaking that?
Well, it'll be a whole separate account database system at
Yeah.
that point. Like one for PC and one for Switch. Like just let the person access it.
Yeah, that would be the consumer-friendly way to do it. I've given up hope on expecting that anymore, so we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, that's really all I've played this week. I don't really have anything else going on. What about you guys? Anything else in your list you want to talk
Oh,
about?
yes.
Oh yeah, cat.
I got to be inside an adventure game thanks to VR.
Yeah,
Inside an adventure game.
that's pretty cool. What's it called?
Which game?
The Invisible Hours.
Okay,
Oh my god.
this is the
It's
Tesla one?
amazing. Yes. You
This
have
is-
to solve what happened to Nikola Tesla.
That's cool.
It's like a murder mystery, right?
Yes, and you're not actually like there it's split up into 4 different like chapters, and you choose who you're going to follow. You can rewind the clock back and follow another person.
Right, like you're not a character in the game. You're
Nope.
just an observer, like a ghost, kind of.
And it's VR, so I'm literally like next to these people moving around. You're finding clues in the room. Like I remember just kind of looking around like and going, Brian, like I'm in this game.
Yeah, that was your moss.
Yeah.
Like 3 or 4 times you were like, I'm in an adventure game. I'm in an adventure game.
It's a Willy Wonka
And-
moment for you. It's like, oh,
It was. It absolutely was, because I'm just following. And I have to say, they did a really good job with this game as far as story. Like the visuals weren't great, but the
Most
story
VR
and
games
finding
are.
out what actually happened, I was shocked. Like I was absolutely shocked.
This is one where you teleport to move,
Yep, you can.
and that's not bad when you're not trying to fight things, when you're not trying to be precise and quick.
Yeah, there's no combat. You have to be, it helps to be super observant and kind of know what you're looking for with adventure games, because there are lots of things you can miss. Like I didn't find everything, and I was super thorough.
I don't
But
have
yeah.
a lot to compare it to, but the Rick and Morty game was like that too. There's only a few places that you can move with, in each different area, and I didn't mind it there because I'm just looking for shit to mess around with. I wasn't trying to, fight anybody or do anything real
Right.
crazy.
You can latch on to one specific character, and the camera will move you,
Oh,
or
cool.
you can do it yourself. So it kind of depends on how you want to play the game. Like you can put your cursor on a person, and you can say like, okay, well, what this video is showing is following Gustav. So all the camera angles it's showing you is what the game is giving you. But you are free to kind of walk around as you want, which was what I did most of the time.
Right, like you walk in the front door and you see the dead body, then you see this dude
Oh my god.
like peeking around the corner, and you're like, I'm gonna wind the clock back and go see what he was up to just 5 minutes ago and follow him.
Yeah.
He looks shady as hell.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah,
really
and
neat.
you meet a lot. I mean, the character stories and stuff are very, very well done. I really super enjoyed this game, and I want another one.
The Invisible Hours. Very cool.
When you started talking about this, Brian, when I was on vacation, and I was real close to picking it up, but I could get this, or I could have gotten Rick and Morty and Accounting Plus, and Justin Roiland just gets me, so I went that way. But this is definitely something that's been on my radar, and I'm glad that it lives up to the hype.
It's a neat experience, especially for someone who doesn't want a lot of action in their game. Like, this could be something you could hand someone who's new to VR or like not a real big gamer. Just be like, here's a world, just walk around and watch and listen and explore.
Yeah,
like there's not really any like time pressure or anything, so you can always like wind the clock back.
VR definitely feels like it has limitations. Like, I've been standing around in my living room trying to play things, and with the Rick and Morty game, if the height's not set properly, like I was going to try to reach things on the top shelf, and I would lift my hand up and hit the ceiling.
Yep.
And it's because you're tall, and
right, it's because I'm tall.
I have the same
but
struggles.
Like, I wouldn't be able to reach the thing on the top shelf because my controller wouldn't go high enough. And I'm like, well, I can't.
Yeah.
Right, the camera loses you.
Yeah,
that's part of the limitation of the PSVRs. There's only just the one camera.
So that's why I'm glad this is like I'm looking for more slow adventure type things instead of the quick reactive gameplay. I don't think that's going to be something that catches on with VR until some of the limitations get removed.
I think some of the other VR systems are better, but they're also $600, $700, and you have to have a real good PC. So
right,
yeah, and the whole requirement of the camera for this one, I think is a real big downside to it. Just because
is your camera on top of your TV?
My camera is sitting on my entertainment center, but
is it like below the TV or?
Yeah, below the TV.
Gotcha. I've got mine sitting on top of it.
How's that work out on top of it?
Seems to be working pretty well.
I'm the.
Does it lose a lot down at the floor for you? Because the
kids can use it without a problem.
Okay.
So I want to give it a whirl.
Cool.
Yeah.
The only game I've had a lot of problems with is Super Hot.
Yeah.
Because you've got to move around a lot, and I've punched things around me, and
yes.
God damn, that game's cool.
I've always been very, very conscious playing like the Rick and Morty game and playing Job Simulator as well. When I'm playing the demo of that, that I'm like feeling around before I go to throw something.
Yep. God, the throwing feels good in that game.
Okay, so I couldn't play VR when he first got it because I had shingles on my face. And so it took me a long time to heal up. And so I didn't understand, why are you guys always throwing things in the game? So I finally got to put it on and tried Job Simulator. And I did the auto mechanic one. Yep. Throwing stuff is amazing.
As soon as you pick something up, you're just like, I'm pretty sure I can huck this right across the room, and you just do it. It's great. It feels wonderful.
That's the first thing I did in the Rick and Morty game was like, I picked something up. I'm like, I can throw this. Can I throw this out the window? And then you throw it out the window and bitches at you for throwing shit in the yard. Like, hey, this is my house. Quit making a mess.
You should try this game out, Krang, because what I like about it is there's stories within the story, and everything kind of comes full circle in the end. And somebody needs to play it so we can discuss it.
I'm definitely gonna give it a whirl. I'm just
wait for a sale.
Fingers crossed, waiting for a sale. Yeah. Yep.
Cool. Go on sale.
Yeah, the $30 price tag on that. That always feels a little steep for an adventure game to me. That like $20 is, I feel.
How much time do you think I
like
put in
right
it?
Point.
I don't know, 5 or 6 hours maybe.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, hey, Kat, you got something else in here too.
Oh yeah.
What's the assembly? What's that about?
Surprise, surprise, guys! It's another adventure game.
You don't say.
So this one, the assembly, you are playing as 2 different people, and it switches back and forth. Like it's set kind of in a I don't know. Is it modern day?
It looked like it, but I wasn't really watching.
I would say definitely modern day.
I saw computers.
Yeah. Part of you is well, both of them are scientists. And I haven't gotten too deep in it. And you're seeing something happening to one of the scientists where they're starting to experiment, and then the doctor that's doing the experiments. So you're seeing kind of like the doctor patient, and then the what is it? Virologist? What's a scientist that works with viruses and stuff and bacteria?
That sounds right.
Virologist,
That's believable.
Yeah. I don't know enough about viruses to dispute it. So.
So you play for a little bit in the woman's shoes, and then you switch to the guy and get his perspective on what's happening in that time frame. So I haven't figured out what is going on, but right now I know that there's a kind of a bitchy scientist who's doing bad things. So
looks a little puzzly from what I saw.
Yeah, you have to, when you're playing as the doctor who's being experimented on or something, I don't know what they're doing with her. There is a lot of puzzles. Like when you first get brought to his facility, it's like, hey, do these puzzles, and it's like you're moving blocks around, and like this is right in my wheelhouse. I'm like, okay, like I had it done in like 2 minutes. Like, give me a challenge, come on. But it's pretty interesting because the graphics are really good on this one compared to the Invisible Hours. It's kind of like, what was the game that we played that was not Skyrim? The graphics weren't great VR because, like Brian said, it's not meant for VR.
It wasn't made for VR, and it's old.
But this game has really good graphics too.
You know what?
It's another VR one.
Fewer Vikings. Yeah.
You know what, you guys? I don't think Skyrim VR is all that bad. #balance. Sorry.
How many hours you got into it, Cream?
1.
How far did you get?
Not very.
You got further than I did.
Did you get to? How's the walking around?
Can you walk around with the controller, or is it all teleporting?
You know, I spent most of my time doing
Character creation.
Yeah. Yeah. Skyrim's not that bad. He didn't even get out of the dragon area where the thing smashes. He didn't get out of the intro yet.
Yeah.
Did the cart ride do anything to you?
No, the cart ride's fine.
Huh. That was my first moment in VR where I'm just like, whoa, I gotta take this off for a minute.
Mine was that Until Dawn roller coastery one, and being on
Isn't that like an on the rails shooter?
Yeah, it's an on rail shooter, and you're on this roller coaster ride, and there were points where like the roller coaster really started to get going, and I was like, "Ooh, I don't feel so great. I think I might be getting sick." But I have problems with motion sickness on roller coasters in general, and I have to take Dramamine to go to an amusement park. So,
gotcha.
Have you done Shooty Fruity yet?
Oh God, Shooty Fruity is so much fun.
I have not, Brian. I need to do some.
Go
fruit shooting.
Go. We'll finish up the show.
God, thank you, Brian.
Been trying for 80 episodes.
Yeah, finally it worked.
Shooty Fruity is so much fun, and I'm horrible at it, but it's so much fun.
I like to shooty the fruity myself.
You didn't shoot the fruity, Tyler.
No, I didn't.
You didn't. I know that because it wasn't
played as much
installed on my
Shooty
PlayStation.
I played as much Shooty Fruity as Kring played Skyrim VR.
No, that's not true because I actually loaded the game. So suck it.
There you go. Good job. Well, with that, let's get into the news. Oh shit. My brain instinctively my brain instinctively clicks on Sea of Thieves whenever it's near my cursor. I have to stop doing
Did you just launch the game?
I just launched the game accidentally. I'm sorry, it was a Freudian slip, I think. Hey,
do you have a galleon going, or?
Yeah, I joined it up.
Yeah, is there a Skullfort up?
Hey, so it's the news, and this one's kind of cool. WoW is kind of sort of free to play, right?
No.
Yeah. Well, no.
With a
That's not
subscription.
what that means.
WoW is sort of kind of free if you pay for a subscription.
It's free to
Right,
download.
they're just not selling the game anymore, right?
Yeah.
Only the latest expansion.
Yeah.
It's pretty close to what they were doing before, because like I got into it last year, and I remember, like I think I paid like $10, and then it gave me like, here's everything except for Legion.
Yep, that's what they've been doing for a while, and even like there was a couple expansions where I got an email from them that were like, hey man, come back to World of Warcraft. We'll just give you the expansion, man. We won't even make you pay for that. You know, you can just come on in and play. Give us that $15, man.
It's like your dealer giving you a taste.
Yep.
Like the money they make from the subs has to absolutely dwarf the money they make from selling the software.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And at this point, it's just another barrier, and they need to get rid of those if they want people to get their friends in this, because that's the biggest thing that I run into right now. Is like I get really into it, and I hit up all my friends who used to play, and they're like, oh yeah, I gotta get the expansion. I had to buy up whatever battle chest stuff that I didn't have, and then it's the sub, and it's like after all that, the sub's the main killer.
Like if it was 10, that would be more palatable for some reason. And I don't know why, but I look at 15 a month and just like, that's more than I pay for any other monthly anything.
Yep.
Well, it's because when we played, we always paid twice because we each had our own account too. That's $30 a month we're putting into WoW.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've always said, like, I think they should do exactly what they're doing right now. If you pay for a sub, you shouldn't have to pay for anything except for the main expansion. But I think they should also remove, like, the sub for, what was I going to say? The free-to-play part should, I think, go until the new content. I feel like you shouldn't even charge a sub until you get into the newest expansion. Like, if I could tell you guys, oh, like, let's all start new characters and we'll play to 100 and see if you like it, you know, we probably wouldn't make it that far, but at least there wouldn't be any monetary investment up until that point. You could play that
free
old
till
content.
20, right?
Yeah, it's only 20 right now, and these days you hit that within
early
like 4 hours. Yeah. So, and the early stuff's not great. Yeah. So that's, I don't know. I still like the game a lot.
They could even do like instead of like a level cap too, they could even do like a time thing. Like it's free for the first week once you load in your account.
They do stuff like that every once in a while too, where they'll, you know, give people free 14-day access or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's good. I think they just need to keep going. And like I pre-ordered the expansion back when I was super into Legion, so I already have it ready to go. And I'm just like, I don't even know. I might wait a couple weeks. I might wait a couple months before I jump back into Battle for Azeroth when it comes out. And just not super feeling it at the moment, but there'll come a time.
Feels like a commitment, like to even just, you know, peek back into the game feels like a commitment.
Yeah.
Yeah, all our accounts were lost, so it's
much. That part's tough, but they do have, like, when you buy the new expansion, they give you the option to boost a character up to like the current leveling content. So like the previous cap was 110. You get a free 110 character when you buy Battle for Azeroth.
Right, so I don't buy Legion, and then I'm able to see it.
Right. So you can at least get to the latest content. So yeah, and that comes out soon. I think Battle for Azeroth comes out either at the end of this month.
14th of August?
Yeah, that sounds right. So
only a few weeks away.
That's real soon, yeah.
So yep. Hey, if you're interested, get after it. It's coming soon.
no more.
Luke.
Yeah.
What's this next one on here, man?
I'm assuming you mean No Man's Sky next.
Yeah, the next story is No Man's Sky next.
Let's go ahead and jump right back to 2016 again. Keep up this theme.
So yeah, it looks like multiplayer.
Yeah, another massive update to No Man's Sky coming out real soon, and they're doing actual multiplayer and a whole bunch of other quality of life changes to it. Third-person view for your person and the ship.
Yeah, character customization.
Unlimited base building now. With a whole bunch of more like different blocks, segments, rooms added into the game. Just a ton of new features.
Tyler.
Yeah.
You know how you wanted to be a pirate legend?
Yeah.
I think we're going to lose Luke.
Okay.
I think we're losing him to No Man's Sky. I think we're going to have to become space pirates if you want to
Space Pirate Legends? All right.
Yeah,
Space
Pirate Legends.
Done.
Space pirates sound fantastic.
No, this looks cool, man. It's weird. I remember when they first announced this game, and everyone thought there was going to be multiplayer because the way they showed, it was real vague. Like, there was different ships kind of coming together and, like, flying together. It showed, like, the player character, like, joining up with other ones, and I think everyone's brain went, like, oh, shit, you can play with other people and fly together and stuff. And then I remember they came out, like, several months later and were like, there's not really going to be multiplayer. Like, you might see other people, but they'll be way far away. You'll never be able to get to them because this world's so
there's
massive.
There's no chance at all. There's
no
chance.
chance. Yeah,
it'll never happen.
Never run into anyone, and even if you do, you won't see their name. Like, it was really weird and cryptic. And then a little bit after that, they were flat out like, yeah, it's not a multiplayer game. There's not multiplayer. And they had to try to bang that drum right before release. And now it feels like we're getting back to, like, that original hype trailer that we saw. Like, it's finally all coming together and looks pretty cool.
It feels like, yeah, what we had at launch was like a first beta or maybe even like late
early
access.
access.
It's
early access. It really was an early access game, and now we're finally
curious.
getting to a finished
Like
game.
that timeline where it's just an early access game, and then like now it's going 1.0 and full release.
See, Sony doesn't do early access.
No, they don't.
And so once they took that Sony money, it's like, no, you're not going to be early access, and you have to hit a date.
Yeah,
They should not have taken that Sony money. That's where this whole thing went wrong.
Yep.
Here's the thing, though, and here's where I'll argue for them. Like, does this get made if it was an early access game? Do we get all this stuff? Like, they got a bunch of money for this game. It was a very profitable game for them. Like, does it ever get to this point without that? I don't know. It's
right.
Yeah, because they would still go through this development process.
You think it would still have been just as successful as an early access game? Maybe.
With how much hype was around it, a ton of people would have bought into early access and would have been like, it's got problems, but it's early access, so that's acceptable.
A lot of the hype was because Sony took it on and showed it off at their conferences and everything too.
Yeah.
It was like a 6-man team.
I think part of the problem is that, like, now after the rusts and all of the clones of it and all of these different things, these survival games and whatever, like, early access from 2014 to 2015 or so, by the end of it was like a dirty word. Like, there were so many games that hit early access that never went anywhere and were bad, and people spent a bunch of money on them, and we had to kind of rein that shit in and start teaching people, like, hey, early access means like nothing. It means you might not ever see anything better than what they put out there. So I think everyone kind of tried to shy away from that, but this is a case where that could work.
Sony needed to dish them a PR person that would have fixed everything, because Sean Murray shouldn't have been like going out and doing interviews.
He was kind of Molyneuxing it.
He was.
It was 100% Peter Molyneux.
A little too honest, a little too, pie in the sky.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, they're a small team too. I
feel like me going to do an interview.
Team Cherry, who makes Hollow Knight, does a pretty good job. They're just like a 2 or 3 man team, but they do a pretty good job of, like, not trying to promise the world and, like, keeping things vague and talking to the press and that sort of thing. Seems like these guys could have used some of that too. But I was gonna say,
I think earlier this week I compared, what are they called? Something Head Studios for
Lionhead Studios?
No, for
Monkey Head Studios.
Cowhead
Crystal
Studios?
Head Studios.
Turkey Head Studios.
Hello
Crystal
Games.
Head Vodka Studios?
Hello Games.
Hello,
Head
same
Studios.
No, Hello Games, I compared them to Rare.
Yeah.
So Sea of Thieves may not have had as much to do in it at release as some people might have liked. Similar to No Man's Sky.
Yep. Yep.
But their reactions, the developers, in those two scenarios was 100% completely different. To where Rare was like, hey, we've got these 3 large DLCs coming out. We're going to hint at those, tell you kind of what's going on with them, but not give super details. We're going to do weekly blogs to say what's going on with our game, what the future looks like. We're going to have weekly patches, and we're going to be active in the community.
Well, and they'd been saying that kind of stuff since before the game release, too. It was always billed as, this is a games as a service type of game. We plan on supporting this for the foreseeable future, right. And we've got a team dedicated to doing that, whereas no one knew what the fuck was going on with No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky, that team, they had like a media blackout for months.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at one point someone went to their studio and was like, there's no one there. Like, they took our money and ran. But then you find out that they've just been busting their butt and put out this massive patch that no one ever anticipated.
Yeah, I remember.
And they're like, oh wait, no, like they actually still care about this game. And they're like, yep, like we're putting out this patch, and don't worry, like there's more stuff coming out in the future.
I think
why wouldn't you say that during all this shitstorm? Be like, hey guys, like, yep.
Because Sony doesn't do early access, Luke.
They don't have to say the words early access.
They release finished titles.
This game is finished, but we've got free DLC coming for you guys.
Right.
Here's what's coming out in the next 2 years.
Patrick Klepek on the Waypoint show had a good point about that. He was saying, like, it could have been a small graphic with the beautiful No Man's Sky, artwork on it that said, "Hey, we hear you. We're trying to make it right. Stay tuned. We're going to put our heads down and get this thing out to you as quick as we can. We hear you." That's all it needed to be, and then at least people would know, like, okay,
that was a mess.
They see it.
Like they got death threats. Like,
I'm
sorry, your fucking video game wasn't what you wanted, but like,
no, and that's. Yeah,
I still feel like Sony's more to blame for that media blackout than Hello Games is. Yeah, I have a feeling that they're back.
Shitstorm and
I have a feeling that they were there pulling the strings and telling them what to do, what not to do, and I mean, they threw a bunch of money at it. It was then Sony's baby, not Hello Games' baby at that point.
Yeah,
it might be out of something.
Could be. Well, either way,
regardless,
I'm glad to see
like it was handled wrong either by Sony or Hello Games.
Yeah.
This feels like a not quite a reboot, but like a massive overhaul or a 2.0 or something of the game.
It feels like what they were sort of promising at the start.
I know if I see it on sale, I'm going to probably want to scoop it up now, because character customization, ship customization, being able to play it with you guys and check out that world, that seems very cool to me. So,
well, it gets released 3 days from now.
Wow, cool.
So,
keep my eyes out.
I don't know if I'm going to check it out right away, but probably the next few weeks here, I'll check it out. See how it is. Oh, yeah.
You got that curse sales coming.
Yeah.
Can always dip your toes in. Hey, speaking of pre-orders and early access and stuff without a release date, Germany has banned the pre-orders for games with no release date. So you can't pre-order something that doesn't have a final date on it yet in Germany. This all kind of came out. It was weird because this actually came from smartphones. Like originally, we're not allowing people to. There was like some kind of lawsuit or something, but basically it was like, hey, this smartphone doesn't have a release date, and people were going in to pre-order it, and this was originally designed to combat.
I didn't find a real clear connection to that. Like it said, that it was because of a Samsung, like Android smartphone, but they didn't say why, like what happened or.
Yeah, I think it was just like them trying to give vague release dates, like, oh, it's coming in the fall. Like, if you can't tell us like what your launch date is when a customer can expect to go get it, then
it's consumer protection. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Then no, we've got thousands and thousands of dollars, and it's all tied up, and I don't know when we'll get it to you sometime.
Yeah, these companies
Is it really a big deal though? I mean, you can just cancel your pre-order and get your money back. Can't
Well, part of it is so like they this article mentions Final Fantasy VII, the Final Fantasy VII remake a lot, and we've brought this up before. Where are we sure that's still coming to the PlayStation 4? Because Sony's talking about having a brand new console out in the next 2 years, and we are hearing nothing about this Final Fantasy VII remake. But if you went and pre-ordered it, thinking it's coming for PS4, and then it gets bumped to PS5, and then you have to go out and buy all brand new hardware, or cancel your pre-order, that sucks.
Yeah,
they've said they were too early on that one.
Yeah.
Well, and this is the back end of it is when you do that, when you pre-order a game, most people don't cancel them. Yes, you could cancel them, but they're banking on the fact that you won't. And the companies collect interest on that money the entire time that it's sitting there. So
right.
It's like it's definitely not in your best interest to pre-order a game that you aren't getting something for and aren't 100% sure you want. It's I don't know.
A lot of them you don't get charged until the game actually ships.
Yeah.
Like if I pre-order something from Amazon right now, like I need to do for Fallout 76, like my card won't get charged until it leaves their warehouse.
So yeah, different companies have it set up different ways then.
It's cool. Like at GameStop, you have to go in and give them
Put
actual
the
dollars.
Same thing with
put money
Best
down.
Buy back when
and so then
we were doing
they can sit there and that money isn't holding, but they can start to make interest on it. That's why they want you to pre-order stuff.
Yep.
Only $5 down guarantees you a copy on launch day. Guaranteed.
Yeah. Kirby All-Stars might be gone if you come in and try to buy that later. So you got to do that.
Get your Kirby.
Brian?
Yeah.
Could you help me out with this PC Gamer article here?
The WASD?
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I assume that the way that I have my hands on the keyboard are like everyone does, but I don't know.
What?
And
What?
there was an article that someone wrote about how they are apparently doing WASD wrong.
What?
Like they'd had their pinky on the A key,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
which seems crazy
that's
to
bad.
me. Like I would
That
never
is
ever
crazy.
do that.
Yes.
I
Okay.
tried it and I'm like, this is awkward. I can't do this.
Right, I've got my index finger on the D key, my middle finger on the S key, and like my pinky just kind of hangs off to the side and really does nothing. Maybe some shift.
Yeah. it
Oh,
shifts.
mine lives on shift. That's its home. That's where my pinky lives. My thumb is on
especially-
space.
Especially for Sea of Thieves, because the shift is your sprint button.
It's that in lots of first-person games. Yeah.
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 Moving between Heroes of the Storm and anything else because your fingers are on QWE.
Mm-hmm.
See, now I found out from Tyler that I was doing that wrong. That I play MOBAs wrong because my pinky finger is
No.
on the Q.
Yeah, that's insane.
You got a stutter step.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
They call it orb walking.
Yep.
No.
Shout out to that one guy that we used to game with. What was his name?
Tobin.
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 Tyler brought that up the other day because we struggle bus it sometimes as a 3-man galleon, and we just need to find ourselves a Tobin.
I was
Gotta
like,
get
yeah,
you a
we need a pirate Tobin. Yeah.
Yeah, he was our rando that ended up actually being pretty good. Was on
Being a
voice
regular.
Meshed with our personalities well enough to stick around and play with us at the late hours of the night. Yeah, that was good. But yeah, this article was funny because they actually go through and they're talking to other people in the office and finding out like some people are just insane. Like one person's hands are on Control Shift A and S, like their pinkies on Control.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's like this weird
How?
little claw thing that they do.
How?
What is it again? One more time. Run that past me.
Control Shift A S.
I imagine if like the first PC game you really get into like needs those buttons used a lot, that's how you probably adapt.
Yeah, and that's how they describe it. I think it was like Duke Nukem 3D had this really weird, keybind system or whatever, and that was what was popular there. But yeah, the reason they describe using WASD with pinky on the what was it again? Pinky on the A?
The A key.
the A.
Jesus, yeah, that's insane.
The only other alternative I ever heard of was ESDF.
Right, because it gives you access to extra buttons.
Yeah.
With your
Wait,
fingers.
ESDF, like you have
middle finger goes to E.
This.
Middle finger goes to E. You just shift over a little.
Slide
bit.
it over
one.
Okay.
One key. So that way you can use your ring finger to hit A and Q, and then W and R. Like you can rebind all that stuff so that you have an extra button there. But yeah.
See, like my first PC games were things like Baldur's Gate and Age of Empires and StarCraft, where I didn't have to use WASD, so I don't have that as burned in as you guys do.
Yeah. Mine came from Warcraft for sure. Like that was where I really cemented it, was in WoW. And then any shooters now, that's where my pinky lives on that shift key because of the shooters having to sprint.
Right.
But yeah.
My A and S keys are completely worn off, so
Yep. It's good stuff. Kring, what happens to salty people in Rainbow Six these days?
Tyler, do you like using racial slurs online when you play video games?
No.
I sure that's what gamers do online.
Do you enjoy when people use racial slurs during video gaming?
I usually prefer if they don't.
Yeah, so now, if you play Rainbow Six Siege and you like using racial slurs, you're in for a bad time because they have this automated system where if you are typing out words in chat, I don't know if there's like a list of unacceptable words.
Oh yeah, they got a list, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, obviously, but I don't know. I scoured.
Let's name them.
To see if it was. I scoured the internet trying to find like if they had published it anywhere is what I was looking for, but they did not.
No, they won't publish that.
So anyway, it results in bans, instant bans. Now it's not permanent right off the rip. The first time you do it, they say it lasts for 27 minutes, but I'd say it's probably half an hour. Because 27 minutes just seems like a weird amount of time. And the second and third time you do it, the ban increases to 2 hours. And after the third time, an official investigation into the account is conducted, and you could like be permabanned from this game. So there's this real weird thing going on the internet where people are confusing the First Amendment and the government with private corporations and thinking that like
that old chestnut.
this company is infringing on my First Amendment rights. It's like, no, you don't have any. You're on their server. Right. This is their money. This is their time. Like, sorry, dude. So there's
I saw the best tweet ever about this. And there was a guy who said that Ubisoft has successfully reduced toxicity and introduced psychological warfare into this update, because he said like he went into
using slurs and then getting them banned.
He started a match and was like, "Hey guys, no racist stuff," and so like 3 people right off the rip on the enemy team dropped N-bombs. Instantly got kicked from the match, and he won the match because the other team didn't have anything in there.
Awesome.
Like, that's fantastic. Yeah.
I kind of want to get Rainbow Six Siege and do that. See how quickly I could climb up their ladder system.
Yep, someone tweeted at Ubisoft about like, "Fuck you! I got banned for using the N-bomb on there." And they replied, "Good." Like, great, good.
Yeah, love like they give.
Yep, I see you. We did ban you. Fuck you.
Yeah, so no, I'm all for it. And if I feel like if more games would implement this sort of a system, that would be good. Now, it doesn't do anything for like voice chat because it's their text-based one. But it's nice to know that somebody's actually, like, people talk about reducing toxicity in games, but then nobody ever does shit. They just put filters on.
Shouldn't be a controversial stance, but yeah, that's good. Like, no one wants to piss off a customer or lose a customer.
Right.
Some customers you don't want.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yep. Cool with losing those customers. Bye, Felicia. And hey, there's some new games coming out for the Switch, right, Luke?
Yeah, there's a ton of new games coming out. Most of these I have never heard of before.
Sausage Sports Club? That sounds like a Kring game.
Wow.
I clicked on this article earlier and I watched the video for the Sausage Sports Club and I have no idea what the fuck this game is and I'm not going to get it.
Luke, explain this.
I don't understand it. What is Sausage Sports Club?
What is Sausage Sports Club?
Well,
Luke?
you see, there's an entire group of people. They get together and they discuss sausages in the sporting environment. No, I have no clue. I have no clue what it is.
It looks like you're like sausage-shaped animals,
Uh,
and it's like a physics-based thing, like Octodad, and it's real weird. I don't understand it.
The only one on this list that I really care about at all is the Mega Man X Legacy Collection.
There it is. Yep.
This is my shocked face.
You're not shocked.
July 24th, man. It's only a couple days away.
Only a few days away. It's split into two different collections. The first one's got 1, 2, and 3, and 4 through 8 is in the second one, I think.
Why'd they split it into two collections?
Because
So they
they
could
want to
charge
break
twice.
my heart.
See, this is fine because I don't care about anything past 3 anyway.
I know, but don't you want to, like, wouldn't it be cool to check those out just to see?
Would it be cool? Sure. Not enough to spend money.
I don't know. I just wish it was all together to make that easier, but yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
just buy them both at the same time and it will be together.
They have a kind of neat thing that they introduced in this one, I think.
This is the easy mode.
No, no. They do this pixel blending thing where, like, instead of the original, like, very defined pixels, you can do this other mode where it, like, shades them together and kind of, like, blends them to try to make it look better. I don't know. I kind of want to play around with that. I think it makes it look a little bit more modern. Because it's an old game. This came out back in the 90s, I want to say, late 90s.
Mid.
Another throwback.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but, like,
friggin' love the Mega Man X series, so I'm with you, Luke.
so
I'll for
good.
sure at least be picking up the first collection. I'd like to
Was it
check out the second one
$20?
too, but yeah, we'll see.
$20. It's not bad for 3 games.
How much is it? $20?
I think so.
They're each 20. Yeah, I almost feel like I'm that much of a cheap ass where if, like, they would have been like, it's 35 for both, I'd be like, okay, no
Yeah, get
problem.
someone set
You know?
for bundling them for sure.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, you'd say $5, Tyler, and
Yeah.
$5 gets you a hot and ready.
a full hot and ready
So,
pizza. Yep, I could
you
have
go.
dinner and Mega Man, and I'd be happy enough to. Yeah, there you go. That's a good upsell right there, Luke and Crane.
But I think this is the closest we're going to get to a virtual console for right now. So
Yeah,
if they're going to take these games and bundle them up together like this, all right. I want the Mega Man X on the virtual console anyway, so
there you go.
here I am.
Shut up and take my money, right?
I
And
wonder if
I
this
don't-
is how they're going to do this so that they can start to charge more money for it, and they're going to, like, do a virtual console but not do a virtual console, and they'll just be like, oh, here's a bundle of some of the games from the Super Nintendo, and it's $25.
I'd be
I mean, I'm
down with that.
well, the
I'd be
cool
down with
thing
see
that,
that
but
happening.
what they can do it this way though is they can also modify it to have like other stuff in it.
right,
Or, like,
this
The X
shading
collection has I'm reading here challenge mode, to which you can actually fight 2 of the bosses at the same time.
That seems cool.
So yeah, so it's got like hard mode in it now, which
Oh.
you can't do if you just re-release it in a virtual console.
thing. Right.
So
Yeah, I'm into it. Hey, the news is over, so do you guys know what that means?
no, tell us.
It's time for one of these. It's a topic. It is a topic. Hey, the topic this week is role-playing in online video games.
Yes.
Do you do it? And
Yes.
this all spurred from an article that I read about a player who was playing Sea of Thieves, and they thought they had a new player on their ship with them. It was a guy dressed in all the, like the starter stuff, and he describes it as like, it was like a modern day Aesop's fable in Sea of Thieves. So this kid was seemingly like really excited about the game and asking a bunch of questions. And this guy who was kind of more of a veteran player was with another one. and they kind of decided, you know, hey, let's take the time and walk this guy through it and answer all his questions, and you know, we'll show him the ropes, we'll give him a good time. So they go through and they have this whole session, they do a skull fort together and all this stuff, and at the end the new player is like, hey guys, let's go have a drink at the tavern together, you know, let's have a good old send off. And he gives like this whole toast to everybody, and then pulls out his instrument and starts playing the Pirate Legend shanty that unlocks the super exclusive club out of the tavern, and like reveals that he's actually, you know, a pirate legend and knows everything. And it was just this cool moment of like, he's kind of testing these guys to see like, are they gonna just tell me to fuck off and, you know, treat me like a scrub, or, you know, bring me in and kind of show me the ropes. And so he rewarded them by like bringing them on one of the Athena voyages. That's like the late game, you know, most profitable ones, and showed him a good time afterwards. So it was pretty cool. It was a cool story.
It was awesome.
So it got me thinking about like, if you've ever done that in an online game before, you know, kind of play a different role or take on a different persona, because you have that anonymity.
Where do I begin?
I figured this would be a good week for you to be on, Kat. That's cool. I know you have a background in this.
Well, throwback to WoW. I mean, Jesus, I ran a role-playing guild.
Yep.
I was part of many role-playing guilds. We literally had guild events. We had backstories. We had, you know, people had to apply to get into the guild. We had to see that they had role-playing skills.
Yeah.
There was a lot of like character relationships, and like families and friends were made, and it was, you know, we used WoW events to spur certain things for the guild. Like it was intense. Brian was a WoW widower for like 5 years.
Yeah, I actually was in a role-playing guild when I played WoW too. Not right at first, but a few years in, I joined one. It was called Shadows of Lordaeron, and they were an all undead role-playing guild.
Oh, yeah, I remember here, yeah.
Tyler, can you mute Kring real quick?
Yeah. Yes, Kring.
What's a role-playing guild?
So
is it like Dungeons and Dragons in WoW?
Yes.
Okay.
Kinda, yeah.
I'm with you. All right.
Kinda, yeah.
You are
dumped it down enough for me. Thank you.
Yeah, instead of just running around and being like, hey, kill that thing, and how much HP you got left, you type out like, I don't know, let's take down the, you know, whatever, the guy. I wasn't very good at it.
In WoW.
Like where like role playing is like encouraged. So there's, you know, there was PvP servers, there's PvE servers, there was RP servers, and that's kind of what we stuck to. And so within the chat, we had specific role playing channel, like this is you can only role play in these, and then we had specific like, you know,
like in character chat and out of game chat.
Yeah, we had specific channels just for that.
Jesus Christ, Kring, would you join the online sensation?
Yeah, it's funny because I
just played My Little Pony Adventure.
I never thought, like, I ended up on an RP server accidentally. I think I did it because I just
accidentally.
It was actually an RP.
Took a left and you should have took a right, or what?
No, it was an RP PvP server. It was a newer one, and it was when I'd like come back to the game for Burning Legion, I want to say, or Burning Crusade. Sorry, and it was like a newer server, and I think there was something going on. I can't remember. I think the RP PvP servers I liked more because guilds would get into big world PvP events, and that's what I was all about. Like, so instead of just doing the battlegrounds or the, you know, whatever like the formal PvP things were, these guilds would get together and have these massive skirmishes over land, and they would write up these stories leading up to why they were fighting. And we had multiple guilds all like joined together to form alliances, and would take on these alliance players, and like after the battle, whoever won, they would actually write up like a whole story about it and post it onto the forums and kind of explain what happened, and, you know, turn all of our in-game actions into like a full story. It was really cool. Mm-hmm. So it was like a whole nother layer to the game that I didn't know was out there until until I stumbled into it. So it was cool. Yeah.
I was on a role-playing server. I didn't do any role-playing, but I was like, there's probably going to be fewer dipshits and assholes here. I'm going to hang out with these dorks.
that was definitely part of it. Yep.
It's exactly
I
what I
think
did,
it's
Brian.
kind of dead and WoW now, though.
My second server was a role-playing server for that very reason.
Yep, because they actually enforced like a naming rule. Well, they used to. I don't think they do much anymore. But you couldn't name your character like Spongebob McFuckface, and you couldn't. You were supposed to just try to be, you're supposed to give your character an actual name, and
but you can name him Lay SpongeBob Fuckface.
Right, you had to class it up a little bit. But yeah, and people could actually like report people technically who were griefing role players and that kind of stuff. So I just felt like I'd rather be in with that crowd. Give me the real nerds instead of the
posers.
Fake ones. Yeah, don't give me the fake
nerds. No posers here.
These are my people.
We actually had events where we did like prizes, like in real life prizes, and one of the guilds I wasn't leading, but I was a part of. One of the ladies was so into it, like she would get in real life prizes to send to people.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah. So what about you guys? You've been quiet over there. What are you do any role playing online?
The biggest thing I ever do is I play as girl characters. That's it. That's all I've ever done. I've never Cat kind of sort of stole any sort of thunder I could have come up with at all. Like, no. I'm quite vanilla compared to what
you always
Kat
play
did.
A girl character though.
I pretty much always play a girl character. I don't know why I always play a girl character, but I typically do. Maybe it's because I think it's funny to like play as a girl character and sometimes like not talk for a while and then talk because I have a deep enough voice that it is like, whoa, that is not a girl.
Yeah, there was a guy in my guild who purposely always played as a female blood elf and would definitely try to dress in the skimpiest armor he could and go hang around the major cities and just get free shit all day from creepy dudes.
Yeah, that's hard too.
So yeah. That's definitely a valid strategy, Craig.
I have never done any sort of real role playing online.
False. You got into
Absolutely
the cop thing the other night when we were on a boat in Sea of Thieves pretty heavily, I think. We were pretending to be police and pulling people over in our boats.
Well, okay.
Oh my god, I want to come.
We've gone through and we've asked people just to raise their sails and give us their loot. And, we might have acted out some events, but like we never stuck to characters and had backstories stuff like that.
Yeah, but this is still a version of that, I think.
Yeah.
Now I will say, like, if there was a Sea of Thieves RP server where like you went in and like you had a crew and a captain and you could just do that, I would check that out.
I would. Oh, absolutely.
I would love to play on a server as like members of Her Majesty's Navy and we go over trying to like basically Sheriff Eli, Sea of Thieves.
I will go.
That would be awesome.
To Golden Sands Outpost tonight and buy up all the Admiral-looking stuff, and we can do that tonight if you want.
Okay, you want to stream that tonight? Quest log RP Sea of Thieves.
Hey, if you're out there and that sounds fun, let us know.
And there are some people that do that. Like they will go and you can. By getting the blue lantern and turning it on and off with another person alternating, it looks like cop sirens. Yeah, police lights.
The one time
they'll get on speaking trumpet and be like, "Hey, pull over!"
Well, we did that the one night.
Clips where like people have like pulled over and the guy boarded and like inspected their boat to make sure they didn't have any contraband on it, which would be like the merchant spices and stuff. And he's like, "Yep, okay, you guys are good. Carry on," and just let them be.
We did that the one night. I was doing like a mob accent for some reason. I was "Hey, man, we're coming over. We're gonna need to see what you got. We need you to give up any of the goods. We don't want no trouble."
He like the Italian pirate.
Doesn't he like then try to come on our boat? And you're like, no, you're not gonna want to do that. That's gonna be real bad news for you.
It's gonna be a big mistake. Yeah, you're gonna regret it. It was a fun time.
Yeah.
I'm into it. Yeah. So Sea of Thieves RP. Let us know if you want it.
It's gonna be
we'll bring
the
it
biggest
to you.
thing. The new thing.
I roleplayed on EverQuest too.
Yeah.
Yeah, played some EverQuest when I tried to detox from WoW.
That's not a good idea. That's just switching. I don't know enough about drugs to make this reference, but isn't that just trading?
That's how they get it with real drugs. Like if you're addicted to heroin,
You
they
do
use
meth.
morphine to bring you down. No, they use morphine to wean you off of it.
I'm saying that.
You gotta do.
Yeah. Okay. I think maybe it's a little too close to the same thing.
It is.
Yeah. Well, good stuff. Well, hey, I think that's going to do it for this week, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the old quest log for episode 86. Kat, it was great to have you back. Maxwell, both Maxwells, it was great to have you back this week. Hey, you can find our show every week at questlogcast.com. You can send us an email. Let us know what you want to talk about. Let us know if you want in on any of that Sea of Thieves roleplay action. You can do that over at mail@questlogcast.com. Big thank you to Visitor for all the music. You can find more of Visitor's music at visitor.us. It's a new URL. And these selections you're hearing are from songs from An Unmade World 2. So check that shit out. Lastly, follow us on Twitter at QuestLogCast. You know, tweet at us, send us gifts, send us links, news, whatever you want.
Yeah, gifts or gifts.
GIFs.
Either.
GIFs. Okay.
I mean,
GIF.
if you got
Tyler,
gifts, you got gifts.
Tyler, no.
Check out.
I mean,
your
I was
gifts.
hoping somebody would send us like cases of Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Thank you for your great show. Here's some Mountain Dew.
Ew, nobody should be drinking that toxic shit.
It's Baja Blast, Cat.
No.
For those of you, if you're looking to send us Mountain Dew as a gift, Baja Blast, please.
Yep.
I want someone to send a gift of Baja Blast now.
Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night.
Have a good one.
Good night.
Take care.
Try